Welcome to this edition of Northwest Real Estate Forum. I'm your host, Patricia Wangsness. Our mission is to bring you experts and relevant topics that will help you understand the art, science, and timing of real estate, because real estate, after all, is your biggest asset. Joining me today is Scott Allen. Scott is an award-winning Pacific Northwest architect and fine artist located in Seattle and Bainbridge Island. Scott is known for crafting innovative spaces where people love to live, play, and work. In 2009, Scott founded Scott Allen Architecture after many years of a partner with Olson, Sunderberg, Kundig, and Allen Architecture. While there, he won the prestigious American Institute of Architects National Firm of the Year Award. Scott brings his clients a deep, hands-on understanding of built infrastructure and infuses that knowledge into the design and process from concept to completion. This results in houses noted by their elegance, enduring design, and warmly personalized spaces. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you.
So, in your mind, what is the best way for people to approach working with an architect, either for a home, a full home design, or for a major remodel? It's a big decision, and some people may not even know when they need to call an architect.
Right.
So what's the idea?
I think that whether you're doing a major remodel of a home you've been living in, or if you are approaching a whole new, a new canvas, but they're very different approaches. If you're remodeling a home that you've been living in, there's a footprint that you have of how you want to live. And so when you approach an architect, you bring that perspective with you, and the architect then would, works with that. In a whole new home, it's a blank canvas, and people are still bringing with them their baggage, their box of
lifestyle,
their lifestyle, their box of scrapbooks, all of their history of their relationship with homes. And if it's an individual, it's one level of complexity. If it's a couple or a family, it's even more complex, obviously, because you're trying to bring out all of those ideas and then meld them together into something that works. So
there's almost like a therapeutic portion. People are coming, you have to analyze the problem, come up with the therapy.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
That's where the creative part comes in, but also there's the technical part. How do you manage the technical and the creative?
Well, the place to start is by drawing out from people what it is that they want, and then move them forward through a process where they're often revealing to each other or to themselves even for the first time some of the underlying ideas about how they want to live and what would be ideal, and moving that forward at a later point, the technical aspect gets in. But a good architect always has there's kind of a running loop, inside of a good designer's mind about how those ideas are going to translate into three-dimensional reality, and what the cost implications are and everything else. And so there's a feedback loop that happens naturally.
So that cost concept that you just talked about, where does the architect fit in with that? I mean, is that a team issue? Is that where you call in somebody else to do the cost, or you have an idea? Maybe you could just touch on that.
Well, I try to draw people out as early as possible on what their expectations are for budgets. Not only what the brick and mortar costs are, but the overall project cost, which those are two different things. And I have an intuitive sense as I start to design what I can fit, what I can create out of that budget. And it doesn't have to be mean because the budget's mean. Oftentimes you can do very creative designs on budgets that are very tight, and it's actually kind of it's a neat challenge, actually, to take that value system and make as much out of it as you possibly can. My preference in a design process is to work one-on-one with my clients early on, and then at a point where they have an understanding and a sort of belief in what the idea is, what the concept is, and then bring in a professional builder fairly early on in the process. And that begins to then inform the decisions as we move forward.
Terrific. So if you're remodeling or building, they need to come to you with an idea of how they want to live. You get the concept, and then we come up with the ideas of the budget. But anybody can come and use an architect. It doesn't have to just be a major remodel or a
That's
custom
true.
home design,
Absolutely.
because design is a big portion of it.
Well, I think in your introduction you say something about that it's your largest asset.
Yeah.
And to me, that implies that you would at least engage a professional at some level to make your largest asset as good as it can be. And that doesn't necessarily mean you can't do it on your own or just with a builder. But a good architect can make a building better.
Worth their weight in gold. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Scott. We'll look forward to part 2 of our discussion.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this edition of Northwest Real Estate Forum. Join us for part 2 of our discussion with Scott Allen. Remember, whether you are buying, selling, or sitting on the sidelines, keep watching for important information on topics that are impacting your biggest asset, your home. To learn more about this and other shows, please join us at northwestrealestateforum.com or check us out on Facebook. While you're there, be sure to order your free copy of Neighbor Law, Fences, Trees, Boundaries, and Noise by Cora Jordan. You'll be surprised at what you learn. I'm your host, Patricia Wangsness. See you next time.